and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Something I'd like to add up all the time. Some of the flag. I was a school kid and now, and then be a teacher for 44 years.
That's a lot of pledges.
It's a lot of pledging. Okay. Next thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting, July 28th. And I thought they were good.
Yep.
Libby did a good job.
I agree. I make a motion, we approve the minutes for July 28th.
I'll second.
Ken made a motion to approve the minutes and Chris seconded it. All those in favor? Thank you. And next, department reports. And Chief Mulhern, you there, right? Hi. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, good.
Am I muted or unmuted right now?
Oh, you're good.
You're good.
Okay, very good. I really don't have much. The only thing that I want to say is I want to thank everybody for coming out for National Night Out. At one point, we had about 100 people here.
Wow.
If anybody drove by the town office parking lot, they'd notice it was full and probably couldn't have got in. So we did go through 134 hot dogs. So like I said, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. It was really appreciated, and see you next year.
Wait. I had two hot dogs.
Yeah.
Go ahead too, so that it counts for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for putting that on, Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fun. I like it. I like doing it every year.
Hey, I was at the transfer station today, and of course, you know, a lot of town business gets done at the transfer station. Also known as the dump, but we call it the transfer station. I promised a constituent I would pass along some feedback on speeding at the Blake Road where it intersects with Wagon Road.
Okay.
FYI, my public service is accomplished.
Yep. All right. We actually did have sat out there a couple of times and got a few people, not a ton, because I mean, compared to roads being traveled, that's not overly used.
Yep.
Cut through for everybody, but yeah, we do get some people there.
It's a pretty sharp corner.
Yeah.
It used to be really sharper.
When I was a teenager, it was very exciting to go on that corner.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I go a lot slower now.
Okay.
And I'll miss Kirk sitting on Maple Street when he goes to the academy here soon. So
Yeah, that is the other thing. He does start next Monday.
Yeah.
Early.
good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is anybody else there?
No, I don't see you.
Nobody. Okay. So next is select board reports. Nothing.
I've got one.
Oh, okay.
And it has to do with an article I saw in the Kennebec Journal a couple days back about a milfoil infestation in Cobussy. And apparently this is a variety of milfoil that's a lot more contagious than the kind that we have or maybe had in Anabescook. And so my question for the board is, I understand that there's been a presentation by the Friends of Cobussy Watershed, who is the nonprofit that does the milfoil management, invasive species management. And I wonder if we could invite them at some meeting soon to make a presentation about what's going on and what are some of the things that we could do. Eurasian water milfoil grows like an inch a day.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing that if you get it in your lake, it's extremely hard to get out. Probably unlikely. And so my concern would be what would happen if milfoil, this variety, got into some other lake in town, specifically Cocknowagon, because it's the one that gets a lot of traffic, but also Wilson and Annabescook. Now, Annabescook's already had a different form of milfoil, slower growing, but still persistent. But if this type got into either of those lakes, it could happen very easily, and it could also be a significant disruptor to the lake, to property values, to people's enjoyment of the lake. Can't go swimming when you're trying to swim in a milfoil infested lake.
And you would like to invite the Friends of Copsey
Yes,
Watershed?
I understand they just made a presentation to the board in Manchester.
Okay.
Select board in Manchester.
Invite Tamara?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they still doing the boat checks on Cocknowagon and other places like they used to?
Yes,
They're
yes.
still there.
Oh,
yes.
That's what I thought, but of course I'm not up there every day, and
Right. Primarily weekends.
just weekends.
Yeah,
on
so
busy
they
times.
do their best during the high volume
Yeah.
periods where there's likely to be a lot of traffic, but that doesn't help us for that, Thursday afternoon when someone wants to switch their boat over from Cobbessy to Cocknowagon and doesn't know what they're looking for.
There was a meeting of the Cobbessy Watershed District last night. And usually they don't report on they're very careful and very good about reporting on the lake levels. And within maybe a tenth of an inch, but they're not so hot, or at least as far as in my estimation, reporting on the water clarity with the Secchi disc measurements. But last night they did do reports, and they compared 2020 with this year, 2021.
How's it looking?
And I just downloaded them, and I didn't look at them yet. So but I can send them to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
I think in that article on the KJ, the thing that I found interesting is that the milfoil is most commonly found on the anchor lines. So rather than just checking the underneath of the boat, I wondered if they actually say, can I see your anchor line? Because if they're gonna throw out the anchor to go fish or to jump in, the middle of the lake
Right.
or whatever, are they looking at those anchor lines? Because that's one of the places they said it's most commonly found and grows the easiest.
Right.
Because and then of course you pull up your anchor line and all that stuff is wrapped around it, and one little tiny segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, that's the thing I wondered about. If they actually, I don't want to just see the underneath of your boat and your trailer, I want to see your anchor line. So,
That means digging it out. Right?
well, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and whether or not, my next question was if it did get on your anchor line, if you pull it back in your boat and it sat there for 4 days, does that mean it dies on the anchor line, or does it have the ability to rehydrate and float away,
Yeah,
so.
I think the latter. That it's pretty durable.
Yeah, yeah, so those
Yeah,
are,
wow.
those are the kinds of things that I wondered about when I read that article.
Did they say they were going to treat it with some kind of a
Herbicide.
chemical?
Yes,
Yeah, herbicide.
so this would be the second time that they would be attempting to eradicate what they know of in Cobbessy with this. It's called a Procelicor, which is a targeted herbicide
Right.
that only works on milfoil. So it doesn't kill everything. It is has supposed to not have an effect on fish, and a marginal effect on other types of plant life. But as you can see, it wasn't 100% effective the first time we used it.
Yeah.
Either that or the survey that they did to target the first application was incomplete.
Is that what they put in Anabesco?
It's the same product they put in Anabescook. In Anabescook, we had the kind we have in Anabescook is called variable leaf milfoil. In Anabescook, we had a much larger infestation. It was probably like in one area by the Wagon Delta, by the Wilson Stream Delta, it was probably like 5 or 6 acres of variable leaf milfoil that was treated.
Yep.
And then there were probably another, I don't know, 10 different locations around the lake where it had migrated from that main infestation, which is what happens. I mean,
Yep.
you get the wind blowing and the waves crashing on milfoil and it breaks up and it starts to float around. And they did that last September. So it was kind of late in the season, but early enough for it to be effective, according to the manufacturer. This spring, we saw no signs. We saw no signs of variable leaf milfoil in Anabesco.
Wow.
We're sort of waiting and seeing at this point and surveying to see if we can detect it anywhere.
Have you?
No. We've seen some native milfoils which belong in the lake, but we haven't seen any variable leaf. So the jury's probably still out, probably will be for a couple of years before we, can start to think that maybe we've eradicated it. That's a possibility. We're trying not to get our hopes up. But as you can see, there are a lot of variables. And in fact, I think I saw a scuba diver there looking at the bottom, with a microscope the other day in the main infestation to see if we could find any signs of it. So we'll see. Knock on wood. By the way, that cost that one herbicide treatment for Anabesco cost about $85,000, of which the taxpayers might have paid 40. Various municipalities, Winthrop contributed, as well as Maine DEP.
And Monmouth.
Monmouth didn't contribute to the herbicide treatment in September, but we did make a recent contribution for paying for surveying and other types of mitigation that we're doing this year.
Okay. Yeah, I knew there was a question about Monmouth contributing, and we had decided not to, I think.
Yeah.
Good. Any other thing else? No. Next is a public comment. Any public who want to comment? No. Okay. Next is appointing Matthew Drost, I think that's correctly pronounced, as code enforcement officer. And
There he is.
he's there.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
Do you want me to read Linda's thing, or are you good? Just go ahead. Do you have any questions, Mark?
We have something that our town manager has written up for us, explaining why we're doing what we're doing. We're replacing our current code enforcement officer who resigned back at the beginning of July. but has still been working part-time. And she has said that you will begin on the 23rd of August.
For office hours, that's correct. But I do expect to start in the role almost immediately. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll stop by with my initial paperwork and be sworn in and start right then.
Great, thank you.
Yes.
Yep.
We're very happy to have found you.
And I think the town manager said you have an impressive resume.
Oh, well, thank you.
For the rest of the world who's listening on Zoom, would you mind sharing a little bit of your background?
Yeah, sure. I'm a Gardner High School graduate, USM graduate as well, with a degree in business administration and marketing. Over the last 9 years, I've worked in the affordable housing industry. I guess we're coming up on 10 years. And for the last 2.5, I've worked at Maine State Housing Authority right in Augusta. I'm a Randolph resident and a select person here in Randolph. So I know full well the job that you guys have undertaken. And it's not always easy, but it's usually rewarding. And I've been a code enforcement officer in a couple communities over the last well over a year now. And I've enjoyed that role. And I'm excited about getting to know Monmouth and working in the code enforcement capacity there as well.
Good.
And just for everybody to know what your availability is going to be, just so we have it on the record.
Yeah, definitely. So my plan is, after a lot of discussion with Linda about the needs of the community, and also my availability, I just mentioned quite a few different things that I'm currently working on, but I'll be in the office Monday afternoons at the same time that Daniel currently has established his office hours, but I hope more readily available for responsiveness to phone calls, emails, and site visits as needed. So we're establishing another email account that will be published, as well as a direct connection to me by phone, so that I can be very responsive to folks pretty much throughout the week.
Thank you.
Will you be playing a role with the planning board?
Yes, to the extent that they'll need me. My understanding is that the planning board, the general preference is to have the code enforcement officer present at the meetings, and yes, I will be attending them, unless I'm asked not to. But yeah, my intention is to provide them the support and guidance they need from my position.
Good. Because I understand that you're there, he's needed, isn't it? We have a planning board member sitting here. Is that true, Ray?
Yeah, there's some meetings, okay, that he wouldn't have to attend if the agenda is lighter and heck, and there'd be no reason for him to make the trip, or come in, zoom in, whatever.
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Shaw used to attend every meeting. Prior to that, it was on an as-needed basis. Okay, that's what I was getting at a minute ago. Is if there is nothing to be dealt with, then there'd be no need for Matthew to set us out of the evening inside.
Yeah.
So it'd be a case of communication between him and Steve, or him and I, whatever.
Okay.
The fact that he is available is fantastic.
It takes a big burden off the chair, Steve O'Donnell. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, excuse me, sorry, I'm happy to be available, and we definitely can do it on an as-needed basis. No problem.
Excellent. So Steve O'Donnell is the chair of the planning board, and the person you just heard speaking is Ray Simmons, and he's the vice chair of the planning board.
Okay. Excellent.
So I make a motion to appoint Matthew, and can you pronounce your last name for us?
It's Drost. Yep.
Drost.
Drost,
Matthew Drost as the code enforcement officer for Monmouth.
Second,
So there's a motion by Chris, a second by Ken, to appoint Matthew Drost,
Joss.
Drost,
Drost.
I won't get it right, as our code enforcement officer, beginning as, I guess immediately. All those in favor? Thank you. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Excellent. Thank you. I look forward to meeting all of you.
Next is to authorize the town manager to sign a purchase and sale agreement with HP Fairfield for a plow truck.
You want me to read through that?
Sure.
Sure.
You want?
I can. So this is authorizing the town manager to sign a purchase and sale agreement with HP Fairfield for a plow truck. This is a two-part process with the cab and body coming from two vendors, HP Fairfield and Daigle and Houghton respectively. We will pay a total of $162,445 to HP Fairfield. At our last meeting, we approved the lease agreement with Androscoggin Bank. The first payment will be due after July 1st, 2022, and will be added to the next budget. We do not expect to take delivery of the new truck until December or January, and we are not trading in a vehicle, as the Public Works Director is hoping to have the flexibility of additional snowplow coverage when needed and for as long as possible.
You ready for a motion?
Yes.
I make a motion to authorize the town manager to sign a purchase and sale agreement with HP Fairfield for a plow truck.
My second.
So there's a motion by Ken to, did you get all that?
Yeah, I just copy and pasted it.
Don't
worry.
And motion by Chris, second by Ken, is that what it?
Vice versa. First by Ken,
Right,
second by me.
And anyway, yes, so all those in agreement. Thank you. And the next thing is to authorize the town manager to sign a purchase and sale agreement with Whited Equipment for an excavator. You want to do that too?
Yeah, the details on that are, we're purchasing an excavator for the Public Works Department to replace the backhoe. This equipment is used for ditching and other products around town. We will pay Whited Equipment $62,909, with the first payment not occurring until after July 1st, 2022. This, along with the snowplow payment, will be added to next year's budget and will be paid over the next 3 years. The trailer is a separate purchase, but does not require select board approval since it is less than $10,000.
I make a motion to authorize the town manager to sign a purchase and sale agreement with Whited Equipment for an excavator.
And I'll second.
And you would have cut and paste again, okay. So it's a motion by Ken, second by Chris, to approve that, the town manager to do that. All those in favor? Thank you. And next is warrant number 3.
Do you want me to read the
Yeah.
items? So
Yeah.
the items over $1,000, Bernstein, Sawyer and Nelson for plow truck lease legal services, $2,300. Blue Rock Earthworks for solid waste trips, $5,206. Cuisino Incorporated for grinding, $19,048.70. Dennis K. Burke for no lead fuel, $1,263.01. Eco Maine for recycling, $2,148.85. GDI Services Incorporated for janitorial, $3,397.50. Grimmel Industries for bulk waste and demo, $5,149.36. K&B Builders, for repairs to the middle school buildings, $5,605. Lance's Auto and Truck Repair, wheel repair and AC service, $1,634.58. Maine Municipal Employees Health Trust for employee insurance, $20,589.35. Maine Waste to Energy Solid Waste Tipping Fees, $2,624.41. Otis Elevator Company for elevator maintenance, $3,196.32. Pine Tree Engineering for Maple Street sidewalks, $2,400. RSU two, our monthly school appropriation, $449,225.24. Runyon, Kirsten, and Willett audit process, $5,000. The Treasurer of State of Maine for motor vehicle, $12,962.46, $13,661.87, and Wright Pierce for the Wilson Pond culvert replacement, $2,662.25.
I'll make a motion that we approve warrant number 3.
And I second.
So there's a motion by Ken, second by Chris to approve warrant number 3. All those in favor? Thank you. For any other business?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
And I second.
All those in favor?
That was easy.
Well, it's just